Hello dear students, welcome to the Tech Faculty initiative of Let's Crack the Gate. Welcome to the Power Electronic classes of Module 2 AC/DC Rectifier. So, let us begin the today's lecture. So, we are doing the previous year gate questions. So, till 2013 we have covered, 2012, yes 13 we have covered. So, now moving forward from 2014 onwards. So, here let us have the discussion here of this question. So, you can see that the question is given, just see by seeing the figure we can tell that it is a full wave fully controlled rectifier, full wave uncontrolled rectifier, all right. So, here the source value is given, frequency is given, and now it is said that the load current is continuous 10 ampere, constant and continuous, all right. And here it is given that if you want to replace the source current with a resistor, so that the RMS value of the current supplied by the voltage source remains unchanged, then what should be the value of resistance. So, for that first of all we have to find the RMS value of the source current. So, if you remember that for uncontrolled full wave rectifier for constant current or CCM mode, the source current flows like this, all right. It is 0, pi, 2 pi and so on, and its value is, since here it is 10 amperes given. So, it is plus I naught minus I naught mean 10 above and 10 below. So, obviously, it is a square wave, all right. This is a square wave. So, when it is a square wave, so what should be the RMS value of this square wave? If you find the IS RMS here, so what will be the IS RMS here? That would be simple. If you square and under root take it for the half time period, that will be 10 amperes only. You will get it as 10 ampere, all right. So, now it is saying that VRMS, source RMS is also given to you, that is 230 volts, and it is given that if you want to replace current source with a resistor, so the RMS value of current supplied by the voltage source remains unchanged. So, what should be the resistance value in ohms, all right. So, all diodes are ideal. So, in this case that we know that if you draw till this, if you model this whole circuit, this whole circuit can be modeled like this, all right, where it can be written as V naught average, and this V naught average is supplying a constant current 10 ampere load, which is also the RMS value of the source. So, here you can calculate it simply. V naught average will be, in this case, 2 Vm upon pi, and IS RMS is 10 amperes here. So, it is easy to find out this resistance value also. So, if you want to keep this current same, all right. So, it means what should be the resistance? It should be V naught average over, yes, IS here, if you talk about this circuit, all right, or it can be written IS RMS, all right, or it can be V naught average over I naught average. So, V naught average will be 230 into root 2 into 2 divided by 10. So, it comes around 46 root 2 ohms, all right. So, let us move on to the next question. Again here it is given that rectifier is given, it is a half wave, single phase half wave controlled rectifier with freewheeling diode. So, here you can see the load consists of R is equals to 10 ohm R load, and L load is equals to 0.05 Henry. Assuming ideal thyristor and ideal diode, the thyristor fire angle degree is needed to obtain average load voltage of 70 volts. Now, here you see that since freewheeling diode is given and inductor value is also given to you, all right. So, in order to get the average voltage of 70 volt, what we need? Now, here two possibilities may be there, either it may be a continuous conduction mode or it may be a discontinuous conduction mode. So, if you consider, so here this is the freewheeling diode is given. So, let us assume the CCM mode here, all right. So, let us assume the CCM mode. So, in this case if the CCM mode is there, then obviously due to the effect of freewheeling diode, the average output voltage comes like this, and instead of going negative without the freewheeling diode, it will be like this, all right, average output voltage, output voltage. So, in this case what will be the this value V naught average. So, V naught average we have already calculated. For freewheeling case in single phase half wave, it is V m upon 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha, all right, 1 plus cos alpha. Now, here the average value has already been given to you 70 volts, all right. So, it means 70 is equals to V m is already given 325 upon 2 pi 1 plus cos alpha. So, just solve this and you will get the alpha value here. So, what will be it is 140 pi upon 325 minus 1 cos inverse is equals to alpha. So, what is this value? Let me calculate with calculator. 140 pi divided by 325 minus 1 and cos inverse this. So, it is coming around 69.31 degrees. So, you can see how simple are the questions, just the concept is needed, all right. Even if it is DCM mode also, still the output voltage comes like this, because freewheeling diode does not allow the voltage to go negative, all right. Even if consider that it is a DCM mode, discontinuous current mode, still the output voltage remains like this, all right. So, moving on to the next question. Now, again you see here it is again the case of pure inductor, but question is somewhat little tricky. Now, here you see that the source voltage is given to you 100 sin omega t, where omega is 100 pi. So, if omega is 100 pi radians, so what will be the f? It is 2 omega is 2 pi f is equal to 2 pi by omega, it means 2 pi by I have written little wrong. It will be omega upon 2 pi. F is equals to omega upon 2 pi. So, it will be 100 pi over 2 pi, it means it is 50 hertz, okay. And it is given that the inductor value is 31.83 millihenry, that is all right. So, 50 hertz means your time period is 20 millisecond. It means the half time period will be 10 millisecond. The wave will be like this, na? See, sine wave, input sine wave will be like this, where it is 0, it is 10 millisecond, it is 20 millisecond, and again go on like this. This is 30 millisecond. And it is given the initial value of inductor current is 0, means initially inductor is discharged. Switch is closed at t equal to 2.5 millisecond, means that switch is not closed at t equal to 0, but is closed at t equal to 2.5, means the alpha firing angle has been given. Means if you consider this switch and diode, you can consider this switch as equivalent to a thyristor, just for analysis purpose. It is not a thyristor, but for analysis purpose, all right, like this. So, it means this 2.5 millisecond will give you the firing angle. So, now he is saying what will be the peak value of inductor current in first cycle, means when the first cycle ends at 10 millisecond, what should be the inductor current peak value, all right. So, it is very simple, just find out what should be the alpha. So, you know that the 2.5 millisecond means 10 millisecond, just by unitary methods, 10 millisecond gives you pi radians, all right. So, it means 1 millisecond will give you pi by 10 radians, it means 2.5 millisecond will give you 2.5 upon 10 into pi radians. It means 2.5 millisecond consists of pi by 4 radians, means alpha should be equal to pi by 4 or 45 degrees, all right. Now you have to find the inductor current in first half cycle. So, you know that the inductor current I is equals to 1 upon L integration integration 0 to t VL dt, that is the inductor current. So, here 0 means at what time the switch has been closed. So, this 2.5 will act like a 0 to inductor, alright. So, here we can simply write it that it should be 1 upon 31.83 inductor. And what will the inductor values? If the switch is closed, diode is ideal, it means source and load are in parallel. So, inductor voltage is whatever source is there, means that is 100 sine 100 pi t, alright, into dt. And now what is, now it is time to put the limits, alright. So, just put the limits. So, if you can put the limits from 2.5 to 10, or you can put, if you want to put from 0, you can put 0, means 2.5 will become 0 when the switch was closed, and this 10 will become 7.5. So, you can write these limits also, alright, both are same. So, here just solve it, what you will get 100 upon these are limits of it, these are in milliseconds, alright, 100 upon 31.83. Is it in Henry? Yeah, it is also in millihenries. So, it is also 10 to the power minus 3 divided by 10 to the power minus 3 sine 100 pi t means sine, or integration will be cos 100 pi t from 0 to 7.5 millisecond, alright. So, just calculate its value, or you can also put the limit if you want to, and also divide by 100 pi divided by 100 pi. So, if you calculate it, you will get 1 upon 31.83 pi into 10 power minus 3 minus cos, or just write cos 0 minus cos, just you know here 7.5 millisecond. If you convert it to, just convert it 100 pi into time 7.5, if you can calculate 100 into pi into 7.5 milliseconds, it's yes, it is coming 2.35. No, it should not be like this. It should not. Yeah. This 7.5. You want to calculate this. Just put the limits here. All right. So here the limits is of time, or you can convert this time limit to the omega. This radians means in terms of this radians also. So just if you put the limits here, we can get the answer. All right. Yes, so just put it. So this now you have to make sure, you have to be very careful about this, that in this case you have to calculate this cos value in radians, not in degrees. So if you calculate it in radians, you will get the answer like this: 1 upon 31.83 pi into 10 power minus 3 cos 0 is 1, and cos, if you calculate this value 100 pi into 7.5 into 10 power minus 3, all right, it comes around minus 0.707, minus 0.707. So, it will be 1.707 divided by 31.83 pi into 10 to the power plus 3, all right. So, just solve it. 1.707 divided by 31.83 divided by pi multiplied by 1000. Its peak value is around 17.07 amperes. All right. So why we know that the if pure inductor is there, if resistance is not there, so in the inductor will keep charging till the supply remains positive. All right. So this is the peak value of inductor current. All right. In the at the end of first half cycle at here. Okay. So this is very simple question. Although this is the case of pure inductor, but how the gate people have make the trick just means a little bit change in the question. Now Coming to the next question. Okay, we will come to this question at means in last. All right, it will take little time. I will come to this question. Now come to this question here. Now here you see you cannot tell what configuration it is, because it consists of 3 diodes and 1 thyristor, and it is said that the angle of thyristor measured from the positive 0 crossing of Vs is 30 degree, means alpha is given already 30 degree, and sine input is also given 100 sine 100 pi t, means 50 hertz is there. All right, and average voltage across resistance under steady state. So, in this case now you cannot know what should be the voltage, output voltage. So, in such type of questions what you have to do, first of all you have to draw the waveform. So, when you draw the waveform input and output, then you can only tell what should be the average value. So, it is very easy, simple. Now, if you draw the input cycle, input source voltage is like this 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi and so on. Now, you see that the thyristor will be active only in the positive cycle. So, we will be making firing angle only in the positive half of the input sine wave and not in the negative half of the input sine wave. All right. So, now let us draw the output voltage waveform, and since pure resistance is there, so no need to worry about what should be the means is there any DCCM mode, DCM mode, nothing. Now, if when the output, now you have to draw the output. So, when the output when 0 to alpha instant comes, alpha and alpha plus 2 pi. In 0 to alpha, thyristor was not on because of absence of gate pulse, but diode D2 will be on. But since thyristor is not conducting, it means all 4 switches are off and load and source are disconnected. It means average voltage output will be 0. But as soon as at alpha you give the gate pulse to the thyristor T1, the output load will be connected to the source and output will follow the source. So, you will get output voltage like this. But at pi what will happen, as the supply reverses, diode D2 will become immediately reverse biased, so will be off, and D4 and D3 will become immediately forward biased, hence will be on. Diode D2 will be off and D3 and D4 immediately on. So, because of this the thyristor will also be off. It means the full cycle will be there, because diode does not require any firing pulse. Again from 2 pi to alpha plus 2 pi, thyristor is there. So, again the output 0 from 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha, output voltage will be 0. All right, and then this is output voltage, and again from here to here you see the output voltage like this. So, you see what is the time period here? The time period is 2 pi. So, now you have to calculate the average output voltage 0, alpha, pi, 2 pi. So, here you can see that the V naught is break into 2 parts. From first is Vm sin omega t from alpha to pi, and then again Vm sin omega t from pi to 2 pi. So, in this case just find the V naught average. So, it will be 1 upon 2 pi. Okay. All right. So, 1 upon 2 pi and break the integration alpha to pi Vm sin omega t plus pi to 2 pi Vm sin omega t. So, if you solve them you will get 1 upon 2 pi, Vm can come out as common, sin omega t means minus cos pi plus cos alpha, and again minus cos 2 pi plus cos pi. So, it will be V naught average will come around this cos pi minus cos pi plus cos pi will cancel out, cos alpha minus cos 2 pi. So, Vm upon 2 pi cos alpha minus cos 2 pi, and cos 2 pi is plus 1. So, it is Vm upon 2 pi cos alpha minus 1. So, put alpha equal to 30 degree and you will get the average output voltage. All right. Then next question is of 2016, that is single phase thyristor bridge rectifier spread from 230 volt 50 hertz single phase AC mains. If it is delivering constant DC current of 10 amperes, firing angle 30 degree, what is the power factor of AC mains? Again, this is the question of our performance parameters, which I have already done in the previous lecture. All right. So, if you want to calculate the power factor, it means first of all you have to calculate the displacement power factor. So, displacement power factor will be cos alpha and L for a constant current load, all right, for fully controlled thyristor bridge. So, it will be cos of 30 degree, and you want to calculate power factor, it means it will be IS1 RMS over IS RMS into cos alpha. So, IS1 RMS you have to calculate. So, it is delivering like this. So, IS1 RMS will be, you know that IS1 RMS, if you have done the, if remember the Fourier series, it is 4 I naught upon pi root 2, all right, and I naught is 10. So, it will be 4 I naught upon pi root 2, and IS RMS for alpha equal to 30 degree fully controlled bridge is I naught, all right, into cos. So, it will come out around 0.9 cos alpha. You can also write directly, all right. So, it is 0.9 into cos 30 is 0.866. So, the input power factor will be just multiply 0.7794. If you see that this question is repeated in from the 2009 or 2010, you see that the same question was there also, all right. So, the correct option is 0.78. If you have done the mistake, you might have ticked this option, but this is wrong, all right. So, now again coming to this next question, a full bridge fully controlled rectifier is supplying an RLE load in figure shown in figure. So, firing angle of bridge is there. So, this question has also been done. So, here for such type of question we know that if the E is negative, so for that we know that average output voltage is basically 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha for this bridge with constant current load, and if we want to calculate the I naught, that comes up to be V naught average minus E divided by R, and here he is has to be taken as negative. So, it means I naught is V naught average minus E by R. So, just calculate the I naught, and you want to, now here it is here that is switch on. So, power fed back to the source. So, power will be fed back. Yes, so here we get I naught is basically this. So, you find V naught average, which should come negative because alpha is greater than 90 degree, and you find I naught average, all right, which should come positive. So, ultimately the P naught will be V naught average multiplied by I naught average. So, it will be a negative value, and negative power shows that the power is fed back from the load to source. So, just find out. So, V naught average is 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha, just put the values and you will get, let me calculate here. Yeah. So, V naught average is equals to 2 into 200 pi over pi into cos 120. So, it comes around, let us calculate it. Yeah, cos 120 into 400. So, it is minus 200 volts, and let us calculate the I naught average. It is just calculate this also. Yeah, here E is 800 volts. So, what we get here 200 plus 800 by R, R is 20 ohms. So, it is 1000 by 20 means 50 amperes. So, I naught average is 50 amperes. So, therefore, P naught, what is supply fed back is minus 200 into 50 means 200 into 50, 1000. No, it is not 1000, 10,000. 10,000 watts means, but we have to give an answer in kilowatts. So, it will be 10 kilowatts. So, 10 kilowatt power is being fed back to the supply means. Okay. So, you see how simple the questions are, the only thing required is the concept. All right. So, moving on to the next question. Yes, here see, this is the question of 2017, that here the question is very simple. It is being given that this supply is given to this configuration. So, already obviously, we know that if you draw the input supply V I, the means how to do questions is, first of all read the question carefully and then write down what is being given and what is being asked. If you do this much thing, then 50% question is already done. All right. So, here V I is like this. So, obviously, we know that for positive cycle D 1 will be forward biased, and for negative cycle D 2 and D 3 will be forward biased. See, because when negative cycle comes here, what will happen? This D 3 will also be forward biased and this D 2 will also be forward biased. So, here what will happen? So, let us draw the modified circuit for both the half cycles from 0 to pi and pi to 2 pi. So, when the 0 to pi is there, what will be the modified circuit? D 1 is on. So, just draw it. I am taking the diodes are being given ideal. So, the circuit will be like this. D 1 is on, D 2 and D 3 are reverse biased. So, they will be like off switch and it will be like this. So, it is plus minus V 1 plus minus V 2, it is R 1 and it is R 2. So, this is voltage V, where this voltage V is given here. All right. So, now you have to find the DC components in V 1 and V 2. All right. So, DC component means we have to find the average voltage. All right. DC component means average voltage of V 1 and V 2. So, here if you find the V 1, what will be V 1 and what will be V 2, and both R 1 is equal to R and R 2 is equal to also R. So, if you solve this circuit, in this case V 1 is equals to basically V t by 2, it means it is pi by 2 sin 100 pi t, and V 2 also will be same because there are both are R. So, mean voltage will be divided equally in both of them, and hence the V 2 is also same. All right. So, now move on to the finding the next in between pi to 2 pi, just draw the modified circuit. If you draw the modified circuit between pi to 2 pi, this is between 0 to pi. All right. Now, I am drawing from pi to 2 pi, just draw the modified circuit, it will be like this. Now, in this case D 2 and D 3 are forward biased. So, it will be like this. All right. Both are shorted together and resistance is here. So, now you see that when this resistance gets shorted, this is of no more use. All right. So, if you see here, this is now V 1 and this is R, this is V sub B t supply voltage. So, here you see that since the resistance is shorted, now the resistance is shorted, it means V 2 will be equal to 0, simple. And what is V 1? V 1 will be equal to simply V t, because V 1 all the voltage will be appear across this resistance, but because since this is a short circuit, hence this V 2 will be 0 and thus V 2 will be 0. So, similarly this will repeat. All right. So, now in this case just want to calculate the DC component. DC component means you have to find the average value. All right. So, if you want to find the average value, just draw the V 1 and V 2 separately. So, if you draw V 1 t, so V 1 t will be like this, okay, where this amplitude is pi by 2 and this amplitude is pi. So, if you find this average output voltage, you see one thing, yeah, minus plus. So, here plus is here, minus here. So, it is equal to minus of V t, yes. So, if you see here that that this negative area is more than the positive area. All right. So, when the negative area is more than the positive area, then what will be the average value? Obviously, it must be negative. All right, it must be negative and it must be come negative here. All right. So, its value will come negative, and when you calculate when you draw V 2 here, V 2 t omega t. So, you see V 2 is like this, from 0 to pi V 2 is present, pi to 2 pi V 2 is 0, then again this is like this, then again 0. So, V 2 is peak is pi by 2, So, here you also see here 0, pi, 2 pi, here also time period is 2 pi, here also time period is 2 pi, but here from 0 to pi output is from the output 0 from 0 to pi it is pi by 2 sin omega t, and from pi to 2 pi it is minus pi sin omega t. And here if you see it is from 0 to pi pi by 2 sin omega t, and from pi to 2 pi it is 0. It means if you find its average value V 2 t's average value will be, it's a, if you see it means carefully, it's a half wave rectifier. Alright, it is showing like a half wave rectifier. And one more thing is there, yes, it is half wave rectifier, and its value will be Vm upon pi, and Vm value is what? It is pi by 2 divided by pi. Hence, what is the value of it? 1 by 2, means V 2 t will be plus 0.5 volt, and here if you calculate its average value, it comes around V 1 t V naught V 2 average, sorry, not t, V 2 average will be this V 2 average, and V 1 average will come around, if you calculate this value, it will come around minus 0.5 volt. So, which option is correct here? If you see here, this B option is correct. Alright, so you see how tricky are the questions, how tricky questions they are making, but they cannot change the concept. Concept remain the same. What steps I have discussed with you to analyze any power electronic circuit, that you take instant wise and then draw the modified circuit, then write the KCL KVL equations and then solve it, means the same is applicable, or they can only make some modifications, means some little tricks, or you can say there are some basic electrical engineering tricks, alright, and nothing more they can do about changing question. If you know the concept, the questions are very easy. So, let us move on to the next question. Here you see again, if you see this circuit, this is a semi converter, alright, and if this circuit is semi converter, here supply is 230 volt 50 hertz. The only modification they have done is that they have put a 10:1 transformer. So, if 10:1 transformer is there, it means here the supply must be coming 23 volt 50 hertz. Alright, here the supply will be coming 23 volt 50 hertz, and it is a semi converter with this freewheeling diode. D3 is the freewheeling diode. Alright, although it is not required, but you can put it in order to save the thyristor T1 from working in a negative cycle also, or working forcefully T1 and T2. Alright, in order to save that. Now, here what is given, devices are ideal, firing angle of thyristor are 90 degree and 270 degree. Do not get confused. Alright, here I told you that always symmetrical firing angles are used, but here to make you confused, they have given that it is 90 and 270. Just draw the input sine wave and you will get to know what I am saying. If you make an input sine wave, we say that if the for positive cycle firing angle is alpha, for negative cycle also firing angle is alpha, means which is counted from here. Alright, I told you that firing angle delay is always counted from the 0 of the wave. So, here for negative cycle 0 will be like this, 0 will be counted from here. So, here it is 90 degree, then obviously it is 180 degree and 270 degree. It means for negative cycle also means both the thyristors are fired at 90 degree. Alright, so don't get confused by just seeing by 270. Alright, it is not that 270, because firing angle cannot be greater than 180 degree. Alright, because one half cycle of sine wave is 180 degree only. Alright, so just isn't it obvious? Alright, something is or obvious also, or you can say it is like common sense also. So, here alpha is 90 degree, and for this thyristor also, although if you talk in terms of omega t axis it is 270, but if you talk in terms of alpha it is 90 only. Alright. So, what is saying that what is the RMS value of current through diode? It is very simple, that when the freewheeling will take place. For the duration the firing angle is not there, only till that duration the freewheeling action takes place. So, from here to here output is here, alright. So, and from here to here the from 0 to 90 firing angle is not there. So, freewheeling diode will take place, will conducting, and here also from 0 to 90 means, or from 180 to 270 freewheeling diode will be acting, alright. So, when the before firing angle from the 0 crossing of the wave to the alpha, That is the working of freewheeling diode, that is the reason of working of freewheeling diode. So, it is very simple. Now what you have to do, since it is a resistance load, now you have to see one more thing, then it is a resistance load, it is not a constant current load, alright. So, for a resistance load, this diode, will it work or not? Just think about it, because resistance cannot keep the current continuous, alright. So, this question has been, so you have to not just you have to study the question carefully, but you have to see the figure also carefully. It is the only resistance load. So, where is the question of working of freewheeling diode? Alright. If resistance load is there, then where is the question of freewheeling diode? Because if resistive load does not need a freewheeling diode at all, alright. Resistance does not need a freewheeling diode, alright. So, what is the RMS value of current through D3? Just tell me. If the freewheeling diode is not at all required, if it is not at all working, then what should be the now you have to modify it circuit. No, it's you have to modify. So, for positive cycle, if you see positive cycle, this will be forward biased, alright, fine. But for negative cycle, what will happen? It is a resistance. So, let me draw the modified circuit. For positive cycle, when the positive cycle is come, then diode D3 will be reverse biased, alright. For 0 to alpha, let me write like this. For 0 to alpha, T1 is forward blocking mode, means off, T2 is also off, D1 is also off, and D2 is on, and D3 is also reverse biased and thus off. It means the load and sources are disconnected, hence output voltage is 0. Let us draw here the V naught and I naught, let us draw. So, from 0 to alpha the output is 0, and from alpha to pi what is happening? T1 and D2 are on, rest all off, rest all means T2, D2, D3 are off. It means load and source are connected. So, it means output will be like this and your current will also be like this, alright. And let me draw the freewheeling diode current also. So, freewheeling diode current will also be, in both the case, in from 0 to pi freewheeling diode is reverse bias, so it will be 0. Now, come to from pi to alpha plus pi duration, means this one. What is happening? The supply has become minus here, plus here. So, what is happening here? This plus here you see, when minus is here, this T1 is off and D2 is also off, T1, D2 is off, and what is happening due to this positive here, this D1 will be on, D1 will be on, and when D1 is on means, but T2 is off, but in forward blocking mode, alright. So, it is like this. So, if you draw the circuit, it will be like this, it will be open circuit. So, let us draw the modified circuit for this duration. For this duration, let us draw the modified circuit, it will be like this. Okay. Here now it is minus and here it is plus. Oh, sorry. This is also open circuited like this. Okay, now you see here, and here the load is there. Now, we have to consider what is the condition of freewheeling diode here. Since you can see that plus is here, but this plus cannot go here, neither here nor here. It means this is like disconnected, source is again disconnected from the load. So, that is why I told you, when resistive load is there, where is the question of working of freewheeling diode. So, when the freewheeling diode, it means freewheeling diode will be off from this position also, and when the firing pulse is there, so that this will get connected. So, when this will get connected, again this positive will be here and this negative will be here, again the freewheeling diode will be, if you talk about from pi plus alpha to free, it means here freewheeling diode is off, and here when pi plus alpha to 2 pi, if you talk about here also T1 and D2 are off, also D3 will be off. Again the output voltage will be there, but freewheeling diode will not be working. That is why I told you, when resistive load is there, there is no question of working of freewheeling diode. So, what is the RMS value of current? If the freewheeling diode for the whole time is off, what will be the RMS value? 0 amperes, correct. Now, moving to the next question, you see here it is again a simple question. You can see it is a fully controlled full bridge rectifier, full bridge with freewheeling diode. Alright, so with freewheeling diode is there. Now, see what is there. It is saying, okay, all switch and diode are, which of the following is true for instantaneous load voltage and current. Alright, sub load with an anti-parallel diode as shown in figure, all switch charge diode are ideal, which is true for instantaneous load voltage and current. Alright, so you see V naught is greater than or is equal to 0, I naught is less than 0. See, I have already told you, if you have remembered the circuit, when freewheeling diode we use only when we need first quadrant operation. If we do not need means if we do not want output voltage, average output voltage to become 0, we use freewheeling diode in the circuit. It means what? That the output voltage always remain greater than 0 and current anyway do not become negative, because some rectifiers or these thyristors can supply only single direction current. So, I naught will also be greater than 0. So, which option is true? That option number C is. See how simple the questions are. Alright, only the method of asking question has been changed. Alright, and this is the 2018. So simple, it is a 2 marks question. So, moving on to the next question, here you can see again what is saying, single phase rectifier controlled feeds power to RLE load, rectifier output voltage has average value of this. Now, you see in this case the question has little bit different, but I will during the solution we will see that it is not different at all, it is the same thing. Vm upon 2 pi 3 plus cos alpha is the output voltage of rectifier, let us say, where Vm is given 80 pi volts. Alright, alpha is firing angle. If power delivered to the loss blessed battery is 1600 watts, what is the alpha in degrees? Now, here it is saying that the power delivered to the lossless battery is 1600 watts. Alright. So, what is the alpha? So, it is very simple. If you know what is the power delivered to the battery, it is 1600 watts. Alright. So, you can calculate the I naught average, because P naught represents average power, active power represents average power. So, you can calculate the I naught average also. Alright. So, what will be the I naught average to the means whatever means if you calculate the battery current, that is the current throughout the circuit, throughout this now. That is why, so what will be what will be that 1600 divided by battery voltage. So, battery voltage is 80, if you solve it, what will be this? It is 20 amperes. So, you have got the I naught average also, and you know that for such kind of circuit, if you take that the current is flowing means continuously, if CCM mode is there. So, we know that for such kind of rectifier, that V naught average is basically what it is, sorry, not V naught average, I naught average. I naught average is basically V naught average minus E divided by R. It is as simple as that, and you see what will be the value. It is very simple. V naught average is, now here you see V naught average is like this. So, you have to write like this, 80 pi upon 2 pi 3 plus cos alpha minus what is E value, it is 80 divided by R. What is R value here? 2 ohms, and it is equal to what? I naught average we have already calculated 20. So, let us solve. It will come around 40 is equals to, here you solve it, you will get 40. 40, 3 plus cos alpha minus 80. Alright, if you solve it further, it will be 3 plus cos alpha is equals to 120 over 40. I think I am doing right. Yes, it is correct. Equal to 3. It means cos alpha is equals to 0. 3 minus 3 0 means alpha is equals to pi by 2 or 90 degree. If he has asked in degrees, yes, he has asked in degrees. So, what will be phi angle? 90.00 degrees. So, you see how much simple it is. Only concept, the same concept I am applying every time. Alright, no different concept or something. Alright, some basic electrical engineering concept you must know. Alright, that's why that is the prerequisite of power electronics. Alright, so coming to the next question. Again, in this question it is given a single phase fully controlled thyristor converter used to obtain average voltage of 180 volts. Average voltage is given. What is given? Fully controlled it is. So, average voltage is given 180 volt and 10 ampere constant current means I naught average is also given 10 amperes. Fed from single phase AC supply of 230 volt. Vs RMS is given 230. So, what will be the peak value? Vm, it will be 230 root 2. Neglect source impedance, power factor, see again power factor, again see power factor, and you know that it is a single phase fully controlled. So, for fully controlled converter, displacement power factor is cos alpha and alpha is not given to you. So, you have to calculate alpha first and power factor is 0.9 cos alpha. So, you see question is same, the only thing is that you have to now first calculate alpha, then you can tell. Alright. So, how you will calculate alpha? You see, so here I naught average, since E is not mentioned here. So, we can simply write that for such kind of converters we know that V naught average is basically 2 Vm upon pi cos alpha. Alright. So, from here you can calculate the alpha value. Alright. So, what will be the alpha value here? V naught average 180 into 2 into 230 root 2 divided by pi cos alpha. If you solve it, you will get alpha is equals to, let me solve it and tell you the answer, 180 into pi divided by 460 divided by root 2 and cos inverse of the solution is, it is coming 29.62 degrees. So, what will be the displacement power factor? So, cos alpha, cos 29.62. So, it is 0.869 and if you want power factor, so 0.9 into 0.869, what will be the value into 0.9? It is 0.782. So, what is the power factor? It is 0.782. Alright. So, you see how this question has repeated third time. Alright, in 2019 means not very far, very close. Alright. So, now coming to the 2020 question, I do not have 2021 paper. So, that is by 2020 question. Again single phase full bridge diode rectifier fed from this, alright, full bridge diode rectifier. Diode rectifier full bridge means uncontrolled converter, alright, supplies a series combination of finite resistance and very large inductance. So, this represents CCM mode of load, continuous current mode, the two most dominant frequency component in source current. So, how you will calculate? So, you have to remember the waveform of diode current, source current. So, for full uncontrolled converter of, you remember that it is like this, the source current comes like this, alright, and when you have done its Fourier series analysis. So, what you get here? The Fourier series analysis gives you IST is equals to 4 I naught upon n pi, alright, 4 I naught upon n pi sine and omega t. If you remember, this gives you this. If you do not remember and if you want how I have come to this value, you just please go to the lecture of performance parameters of AC/DC rectifiers. I have explained it there, alright. So, 4 I naught upon n pi. So, it means what are the dominant harmonics? So, what will be the dominant harmonic? And it is only true for odd harmonics. Odd harmonics means only First is fundamental, it means third, fifth, seventh and so on. So, we have to tell two dominant, and I have already told you that as the harmonic number increases, the amplitude decreases. So, means dominant means those harmonics which have highest amplitudes. Alright. So, obviously, if you see this equation, the highest amplitude will be given by third harmonic and fifth harmonic. So, what will be the two most dominant frequency components? Third harmonic means says the frequency, fundamental frequency is 50 hertz, fundamental frequency is 50 hertz. Alright. So, what will be the F3? Third harmonic will be 150 and F5 will be 250. You should remember all these things. Alright. So, I have told you that from performance parameter these gateway will ask direct questions. So, what will be the option? It is this. So, see how simple it is. Alright. So, now let us move to that question which I have left, because that question is little bit different. That was the first time some different question was asked from the AC/DC rectifiers in gate. So, here you see that here some rectifier is this input voltage is given and diode is given and capacitors with resistance is given, and here the time constant of the capacitor is given, that is 100 pi RC is equals to 50. It means the RC or time constant of capacitor is 50 upon 100 pi, or you can say 1 upon 2 pi. Alright. So, it means that capacitor to get capacitor to get fully charged or discharged, it will take this much time. So, now he wants what will be the under steady state, what will be the voltage. So, here you have to be very careful with this. Now, here if you draw the input and then draw the outputs, then only, because without drawing the waveform here you will not be able to conclude what should be the output. So, here Vs is the input, okay. So, 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, 6 pi and so on. Now, let us draw the output, but here you have to be very careful about the capacitor's voltage also. Here what is happening? You have to take care of capacitor charging, discharging. When positive cycle comes, so this diode, let us say this is D1, this is D2. This diode D1 will become forward biased, and it is given that capacitors are very large. Alright, you can conclude with this. So, D1 means this diode will become forward biased. So, when this diode will become forward biased, what will be the circuit? The circuit will be like this, I am making like this. Okay. The capacitor will charge first. Alright. So, when the capacitor will charge, what will happen? The capacitor will charge to full this Vm. Alright. So, capacitor will charge till full Vm. Alright. So, now this capacitor has charged itself. So, what will happen after that? And means till this point the capacitor will charge, and after that this charging will stop. Why it will stop? Because the capacitor will not further allow charging, alright, because it has already charged to maximum value. Now, and when this capacitor will get charged, this diode, now you see here, as soon as capacitor voltage becomes equal to diode voltage, this supply voltage, this diode will be reverse biased. So, this diode will off. So, as soon as this diode is off, what will happen? So, let me draw capacitor voltage with different pen. So, capacitor will charge up to like this. Alright. Now, this capacitor will discharge with this resistance. Alright, with this resistance, this will discharge through this capacitor. Alright. So, it will go like this. So, it will discharge like this, but discharging, you see time constant is 1 upon 2 pi, very great, very large time constant. It means that discharging will be very slow. So, we can say that the capacitor is discharging very slowly, alright, and that will be the output voltage. Alright. So, this is Vm. Okay. So, the capacitor will get discharged very slow. Okay. See here. Alright. Now, come to the next cycle. what will happen when here comes minus, here comes plus. So, what will happen, this diode will become positive and this capacitor, here the capacitor polarities are plus minus and here the capacitor polarities become plus minus. Alright, now this capacitor will charge up to full Vm. So, means when this capacitor gets full charged, means after getting charged to full Vm, this diode will be off. Now, when this diode gets off, this capacitor now will discharge through like this. Alright, now this capacitor C2 will start discharging like this. So, what will happen? Now, C2 will discharge how? Now, this capacitor is also holding some voltage and its voltage will also be added. So, what will be net output voltage here? Net output voltage will be the sum of the capacitor voltages. So, what will be net output voltage? It will be like here, means first from pi, it will go like this to pi by 2 and then it will discharge, okay, like this, like this. So, again next, now come to again this cycle comes, again the positive here, negative here. So, again this diode will become forward biased. Since this capacitor has discharged to some value, it will again charge to full Vm, it will charge, and again as soon as it gets charged, immediately diode will be off and again it will discharge. But now this capacitor is also holding the charge. So, again till now these capacitor will not become 0 ever again. Alright. So, it means these capacitor voltages will always add up. Again this capacitor will discharge from here. So, again it will be like this. So, till pi by 2 it will go and then little bit discharge. Again here when negative cycle comes, this capacitor will charge and again will discharge to little value. Alright, now you see that the cycle will go on like this. So, what you see here? It is 2 Vm peak. So, what you see here? Thus, this half cycle you will get never, you will never get again. This half cycle you will never get again. So, if you talk, and this half cycle will never get again. So, if you talk about infinite cycles, we can neglect this first cycle. So, what is the average output voltage? You can see here it is almost constant. So, if it is almost constant, so what is the peak value here? 100, and it is equal to 2 Vm. So, what is the constant value? 2 Vm. So, what will be the value? 100 plus 100, 2 Vm means 200 volt. So, what will be the voltage across resistance under steady state? It must be 200 volt approx. Alright. So, that is how this numerical has to be done. This is some question which was really very nice, means which requires the concept of capacitor charging discharging, and without drawing the waveform will not be able to do this type of question. Alright. So, now we have we have already covered all the gate questions till single phase AC/DC rectifiers. So, from our next topic will be 3 phase rectifiers, control AC, 3 phase uncontrolled and controlled rectifiers. So, if you have any doubt regarding these PYQs or any query, please post in the comment section, and also how do you like the lecture, please also post in the comment sections. Till then, thank you very much.